Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome. We are now into our next chapter release of One Piece. Very, very interesting one. So we are at chapter 1075. And this one is titled The Labo Stratum or the Labo Phase Death Game. So why don't we just get right into it? So our cover story begins with Vegapunk getting to meet the five elders. Now, very nicely depicted, he's there in his nice like suit, his head's even bigger with his brain fruit, and we just see the Gorosei as silhouettes and their magnificent beards and mustaches on show. Apart from the one guy who has the sword, he doesn't have any facial hair, but the others very refined, just sort of ominously there in the background. But a nice little connection that we know that Vegapunk had met with the Gorosei before. We begin straight after the aftermath of the explosion that happened near Pythagoras. And we've got Shaka sort of reporting in, trying to get in touch with Pythagoras over the comms. They'd heard the explosion, they'd saw it on the snail cameras, and he's trying to get a response, and we're just seeing images of the damage that's been done from this one explosion. And Shaka begins to question whether this is an accident, were you just caught up in something, and asks for one of the snails to just check. And as one of the snails is checking the nearby area, we just get a shadow reaching up and destroying that camera with another explosion. Shock hits Shaka, and the cameras are starting to go out. And at the same time, Luffy sort of jumps up, and I forgot about this, but the earpiece that he was given, the sort of communicator with people, it's cut off. And Luffy's like, hang on a second, and he calls Shaka Helmet Guy and says, I was literally just hearing everyone's voices and they've suddenly gone. Like, what's going on? So when we come back, we're now in buildings, and there are the sections of the building. We cut to the first group who are out adventuring or exploring to find Vegapunk's main body. So we have Nami, we have Brook, and we have Edison. An interesting combination. But immediately, Nami finds some gems, she finds some diamonds, and instead of just exclaiming they're precious, she's like, yeah, I want them, give me, they're mine. And even Edison's taken aback by, whoa, most people just say they're pretty, but it's very forward of you just to just to ask for them. And Brook's like, well, what's harm in it? Everyone's leaving anyway. And he's like, well, that's a good point, but your crew's a bit, got a few screws loose. But we see Nami gets a hold of all these gems, has a nice big rucksack full of it, and says, oh, pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy now. Should we just head back? Should we just go? And Edison's like, the whole point is for us to try and find Vegapunk. That's what our whole mission is to do right now. Why are we just leaving? So they leave the rucksack, and she's like, right, fine, we'll go and find Vegapunk, but we're going to come back this way because we're going to get them. And Edison's like, oh, all right, okay, but you do know they're man-made diamonds. And Nami's like, wait. They're man-made? You can make these? Oh, the future. Such a place of dreams. And then kind of snaps out and it's like, come on, right, let's go get Vegapunk. We come to the second floor and we see group 2 on the search for Vegapunk. We have Chopper, Robin, and Atlas. So we can kind of see how the teams are forming now with 2 Straw Hats to 1 of the satellite bodies. And we've just got a nice conversation with Chopper saying about Atlas had lost a face and you can just put your face on like a mask now. And she explains, yeah, my whole body can just be replaced with parts that she needs whenever. So if she was to get damaged, it's not hard in this place to find repairs. But we see Robin looking at Chambers and saying, "Oh, wonder if that's Vegapunk in there." And as we look into it closer, they are organoids. Basically, man-made organs. And Chopper immediately is like, "Can you imagine that? We can just grow new organs that quickly." And the sort of scary of darkness of Robin going, "Oh, I thought they were Vegapunk organs. Oh well." Chopper's like, we have Luffy returning into the room with Shaka to explain, like, what's going on? Why is everyone's voices gone? Where's all the systems going? And Shaka is trying to get in touch with anyone. Can't read anyone. No one is in touch. All the cameras are starting to blink down. And Luffy's even trying to explain, look, I was just hearing everyone and they're gone now. Like, what's going on? And just one by one, all the cameras start blinking, start going out, and we get that ominous shot. It zooms out and it's just Shaka and Luffy. And he just says, someone else in the lab. Ooh. It could be anyone. Who would it be? We'll get into it. So, second floor. Now, we're in building B, so we're in the adjacent building. We have Sanji, Jinbei, and Stussy. So not one of the satellites, but is a clone. Best clone Vegapunk, so kind of works with the system of 3. And Sanji is still full swoon, saying that he is now Stussy's loyal dog. He would do anything. Does he remember that they interacted at Big Mum's party? And she's just like, "Oh, just keep an eye out for the stellar body, please." And Jinbei's just commented on how big this place is, and where they are is the weapons development floor. So she goes on to explain that if any shockwave was to happen, it would really set things off down here. And then the final fourth group in building C, so they went the left side, is Usopp, Frankie, York, and Lilith. A group of 4. How strange. But we've got Usopp's reaction to Lilith's bubble gun. And she says, yeah, it makes the strongest bubbles ever, and they can bounce anything back. So interesting that her cannon actually isn't like a physical, like, damaging weapon. It's more of a defense weapon. It's more of whatever attack gets thrown at her, she's just going to reflect it back. So that's pretty cool. But we've got Frankie commenting on what kind of attack just bounces things back. But I'm sure we're going to see some very cool ways that she's going to get around situations with it. But as they're continuing through, they find the destruction, the wreckage that had occurred before the aftermath of the explosion. And they just about spot a body, and as they rush, they see Pythagoras on the floor, just down. And to their amazement, he's just in ruins, but he's got no head. And Frank's like, "Oh, that's a bit much. Did his head blow off? That's a bit much." But then, in the shadows, Usopp spots something, and we see tiny Pythagoras' head, like, charging along. Just, wait, it's me. Don't shoot. You're not going to believe what's happening. It's going to sound impossible. I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. And as he's moments away from explaining to the group, he's like, we've made a grave miscalculation here. Something's out, something's wrong. We've got to go. We've got to be careful. And as he's looking around, he's like, wait, where did York go? And he spins round, and York just carried on away. And we're like, oh, look at you, little cutie. Patting S Snake on the head. Just like, oh, how cute. Why did you come here? Oh well. And just in that moment, Pythagoras to say, York, get right away from her. But it is too late. And S Snake activates the love fruit and turns York to stone and just sort of kicks her to one side and is like, and immediately the shocked reactions. Lilith is like, wait, a Seraphim, why are you here? We ordered you to like stop a while ago. You shouldn't be moving. We commanded you to stop. S-Snake just doesn't care, sends out another blast from the hands, causes another giant explosion. And then we've got the realization of everyone, right, something is off here. We don't know what's happening. Do they not realize that we're Vegapunk as well? But they're not accepting our orders. And we see a really funny moment of Lilith, like, really cool spins and, like, catches Pythagoras. Frankie just, like, slams down, and Usopp just head first into the ground. But then we've got the obvious Frankie just saying, well, didn't see that twist coming. Are we going to return fire? Are we going to, like, defend? And they're just looking up, and there's just that really ominous shot of S-Snake just looking down at them. And they're now trying to get in touch with Shocker, realizing they can't reach. And Lilith is, like, full panic now, saying, we are enough joking around. We're not going to stand a chance against them. They have been designed to be the most powerful beings around. And just that really ominous shot of S-Snake just smiling down at them. Ooh. So someone has commanded, someone has gotten to the Seraphim and ordered them to now start doing all this. And we find where the other Seraphim are, because when we come back to the comms room, we see Zoro shouting for Luffy, already swords drawn. He swings in, Shaka running behind, and they are immediately greeted by S Hawk and S Bear in the room. And almost instinctually, we've got Shaka saying, right, stop, freeze, you know, who gave you the order to move now? I've told you to stop. And Zoro's like, ooh, wow, good thing you can stop them, right? Because they were gunning for CP0. Not us, not me, not trying to destroy. They were coming for those two, Lucci and Kaku on the floor. Now, just a point to note, we now know where S-Snake is, currently fighting Usopp's group. We've got two Seraphim here that were trying to take out CP0 agents. I'm going to say that S-Bear was the one we saw on the cameras, or destroying the cameras. It was a large shadow. We only know of these four Seraphim currently on the island because they were the four Seraphim brought. I doubt other Seraphim are here because we would have been told about them already. But Zoro, absolute man, is saying, I wasn't going to let them hurt those two. Letting them die while they were in cuffs would leave a bad taste in my mouth. Just what a guy. Just fought these two people who he's had many interactions with, and he's still saying, I'm not going to let them die while they're in cuffs. But the Seraphim don't really care for that, and both set off a giant explosion, and realise in that moment, Shaka's like, wait, they're not listening to me. So if they can't listen to my orders, then that must mean they're acting at a authority that was another Vegapunk. There's also one higher. Vegapunk, or the Gorosei. Now we know that St. J. Garcia Saturn is around, but we know that they can't be ordered over the Denden Mushi. But was he able to get onto the island with some really cool ability, really cool power? We know that Kizaru can move at the speed of light. Don't think he can move other people that fast. But I mean, it's not far out of the realm that if the Gorosei are really this strong, could they have had a way to just get in touch with the Seraphim to order them? But from Shaka's opinion, it's another of the Vegapunks. So either the stellar body has given them this order to start eliminating everyone, or it's one of the satellite bodies. Now, a case could be argued for many of them. Pythagoras was the one who was attacked. He knew he could maybe survive it, but then what's his whole angle? I don't think he would be. Lilith seemed too agitated to want to, or knew what was going on. I'm still of the opinion, can you imagine the reveal of if it's Shaka, even though he's the satellite body for good, if he deems what's happening here not good, and he's going, right, I have a way to get around this, and he's the one. But then he tried to say stop, so they would have stopped. But it's the whole thing of, if it's another Vegapunk has given the order, another satellite, the only person on a higher authority level that would stop them now then is the Gorosei. So that means whoever has given this order of the Vegapunks, nothing can be done about it now. None of the other Vegapunks can stop this action unless the Seraphim just get put out of commission. But like Lilith said, they've been designed to be the strongest weapons on Earth. I mean, it makes for a fascinating read going forward to see who is this mastermind behind it all. But as we get this moment of pause, explosion goes off. No coincidence. Lucci and Kaku wake up to this destruction. They're saying, oh, they want us dead? And then they ask, yo, Luffy, Zoro, bygones be bygones. Why don't we form a temporary alliance? We'd be more useful to you if we were out of these cuffs. And then we've got that classic Oda expression of just disgust from Luffy and Zoro, wincing at the fact that Lucci and Kaku are asking this. It's a great response. Oh, so don't believe there's a break next week. Interested to see, are they gonna let them out? Are they gonna form this temporary alliance? Like Zoro said, they were gunning for the CP0 agents. So whichever Vegapunk or Gorosei has ordered this, they wanted CP0 on the list as well for people to kill. But I will be fascinated to see the reveal of who it is, because Stellar Body is missing. So does he have another agenda? I don't believe so. He seems very honest about what he wanted to create. He wouldn't destroy his own lab. That huge island that stores all of his knowledge from the brain fruit. It has to be really compelling reason. Could be Shocker, but he's alignment of good. I don't think he'd turn on everyone. Lilith seemed way too surprised. Edison, maybe, but he seems pretty chill. Doesn't seem the guy to backstab. Neither will Pythagoras, because the explosion happened to him. Maybe he survived. Atlas seemed fairly relaxed, doesn't seem to want to harm. York, we don't know too much about. Maybe sick of being the eat sleep robot. Got turned to stone now. Could be that somehow Saturn has infiltrated the island without us knowing and has given this order to the Seraphim. Guess we'll find out. Well, let me know what you think. I will see you later.